Hi guys, happy Friday. It's Miss Carlye and I just wanted to show you a new book that we've got called Consider the Octopus. It is about two kids who meet by coincidence and they are on a ship during the summer whose mission is to help clean up the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. So if you don't know what that is, it's basically a huge island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean full of plastic and garbage, and it's a real environmental disaster. So in this book, they're on a mission with some world-renowned scientists to help clean that up. And so it is a book told in the two characters' perspectives, so it switches from one character to the other. One character is called Jeremy Barnes, but his nickname is JB, and the other is Sidney Miller. So the book starts in JB's perspective, and so I'm going to read the first chapter for you. So chapter 1, Jeremy JB, Face of the Oceania 2 Barnes. The Mylar balloons tied tight to the metal leg of the folding registration table twist and glitter in the sweltering sunshine, waiting for me to come bake next to them. Earlier, Marco and Randy had argued over them, him saying, "Balloons are festive and make it easier to find us, plus fine for the environment so long as we cut them in half and recycle them properly afterward," and her saying, "Fine, if you don't mind being a total hypocrite and part of the bigger problem. Besides, how hard is it to spot two registration tables in front of a ginormous research ship docked only a quarter-mile off that says Oceania 2 in white across its whole green side?" Marco had won, per usual, by making an executive decision, leaving Randy to glare at him. Now I sit down next to the balloons on a wobbly folding chair and wait for the science geek semester kids to show up so I can start my super important job of checking them in. A mere 2 weeks ago, I would never have been given this Face of the Oceania 2 assignment, even in an emergency, so maybe Mom is right. Maybe the fresh air and thinking time are starting to rub off on me. Not that me doing this job was exactly everyone's first choice. Marco was supposed to do it, but there was some sort of emergency, an all-hands-on-deck situation, which meant Marco and Randy and Vance and even Sabira had to stay on board, which left only Henry and me to check everyone in. And since Henry can obviously schmooze better than I can about fancy science things, that put him in charge of the scientists, and me checking in the semester kids. "If you're sure you can handle that," Mom had asked, her words sounding more worried than like a big vote of confidence. Plus, she rumpled my hair, which isn't really something you should do if you want someone to feel fully competent. Besides, hadn't I just proved myself? Hadn't I located 10 of the 18 hard-to-find scientists from all over the globe? You think it's easy to tell a marine biologist from a climate biologist from a climatologist when they all have the same first name? Okay, well, at least 2 of them did. But this guy here, he did it. He got 10 of the 18 hopefuls on Captain Jim's invite list, from Zhang Lu to Samara Redmond to Dr. Sidney Miller from the Marine Lab at the Monterey Bay Aquarium, to RSVP that they were coming. I shift in my spot, glance at Henry, still setting up his registration table, and then at the small brick building across the empty dock where ferry tickets are sold, wondering if I have time to run in and take a leak. But I can see cars beginning to pull in through the arrival zone, plus a shuttle bus, and I don't want to mess up by not being here to greet the first kids to arrive. Alright, so then the chapter switches to Sidney Miller's perspective. So she says, Nana's 15-year-old pumpkin orange Subaru station wagon looks right at home in the parking lot of the Seattle Food Co-op warehouse. In fact, 5 spots down from where we were sitting in our car, there's another one, almost identical, except that one had more bumper stickers. I know, right? Pretty hard to imagine. But there it is. See, Nana says, pointing to the orange twin car. Even the same dent on the passenger door. Now, how do you explain that? I bet there are a ton of algorithms that could explain it, starting with the number of orange Subaru station wagons sold in any given year, with the demographic of people who purchase Subarus in relation to those living in the Seattle area, and then the number of those same people who kept their car for 10 years or more. I don't necessarily know the math to figure that all out, but I know there is some. At the same time, how can I ignore coincidences like that ever again? I mean, it's what brought me here in the first place. That's exactly the reason I am about to attempt to sneak onto a ship and sail out into the Pacific Ocean for 7 days. The reason? A ring toss game, a nail polish color, a goldfish, and what may possibly be nothing more than a simple case of mistaken identity. But of course, then how do you explain my recurring dreams? And the identical reddish-yellow Subarus in the same exact parking lot at the same exact time. It's synchronicity, Grandma. It is, she says. We are early, and this gives us a chance to study the loading dock and marina across the street and to spec out the ship's check-in procedure for the real semester kids, the ones who are supposed to be here. We need to stick to our plan to get on board, Nana says. I want to ask Nana which plan exactly she is referring to, since we are pretty much flying by the seat of our pants at this point. Sure, we were able to convince Mom and Dad that my invite onto the Oceania 2 was legit. You won an essay contest? Sidney, that's fantastic. Of course you can go. Which was a good thing, since I had already replied the message and said Dr. Sidney Miller would be honored to attend. And yeah, with a little Photoshop doctoring, I was able to print out the welcome letter. It wasn't perfect, but my parents were so excited about my academic achievement, they didn't look too closely. They didn't see that I spelled coalition, as in global coalition, wrong. But what happens after this is anybody's guess. We need to observe things for a while. That way we can be prepared for the unexpected, Nana whispers. Why are we whispering, Nana? She doesn't answer. She holds out her hand, and I pass her the binoculars from my backpack. She presses them to her face. What do you see? I ask. She answers, balloons. Balloons? Look for yourself. It takes me a while to adjust the focus and figure out what I'm looking at. The trees in front of us, the metal fence, bird, a cardboard box, a lone banana, all look so big. Holy cow, I can see the brown spots on the peel. I take the binoculars away from my eyes, and I realize I'm just seeing the stuff in this parking lot. The marina is much further away. I try again. Finally, I see water and boats. I see the pier, the metal planks, boxes, these big corrugated storage containers. It all looks very industrial. I move my line of sight slowly right, then left, until I see the check-in area. Oh yeah, there! I see the balloons now. Green ones. And oh, look! 2 long folding tables and signs. Signs? What kind of signs? Nana isn't so much whispering anymore. No, not that kind. Just signs, Nana. Poster board signs. What do they say? One says something, clean water, summit something, and the other one says, wait, now I can't see anymore. There's someone in the way. Someone is standing in front of the table. Who? Nana asks. I turn the toggle on the top of the binoculars to see if that helps, if I can get a closer look. It's a kid, a teenager maybe younger, a boy, I say. He's talking to someone. Oh, okay, now he's walking toward the semester table. And he doesn't look very happy. He's holding something. Yeah, I see, he's got his cell phone. Perfect, Nana says. She rests her head back. Trust me, nothing more distracted and inattentive than an adolescent boy with a phone in his hands. Alright, and that's the first chapter. If you want to continue reading, we have this book available at the library. It will be in our news section. So again, the title is Consider the Octopus. Alright, so thank you guys for joining and have a great Friday. Thank you.